Hey y'all, it's another video. So this video is something that let me move this back a little bit more. So today's topic is on today's little things about should you or should you not. It deals with an old controversy that I think is just absolutely laid to rest. So here it goes. Back in the day, when people were doing red dots on rifles, it was an absolute, well, you still have to have iron sights. You still have to have iron sights. You still got to, because if anything happens, if anything goes bad on your electronic optic or whatever, you're good to go because you've got your iron sights. Now the pros to an iron sight is they don't need batteries. They're fixed to the weapon. They're generally going to stay zeroed. So it's more of a keep simple, stupid, robust thing. That was then. Today, I don't think that way anymore. I think that a weapon with no sights, no iron sights, is perfectly fine for anything you need. It all depends on what you want the sight to do. It's just like your iron sights, you know. Your iron sights, depending on what weapon it is, depending on caliber, all that mess. Like this is my Night Force 2.5 to 10x32. It's no longer this is actually a discontinued scope. Great scope. Cannot say anything negative about it. It's a heavy weapon though. This thing's probably up to about like 10 pounds. Which is another, has got me thinking strongly on how to reduce the weight. If you go back and look at my video Nuts and Nuts 2, that explains why I think the way I do now. But it's like I said, it's a great glass. The thing I think today of is that iron sights. I believe iron sights are a dying, phasing out sight system. More and more people are getting away from it. Now, if you say, well, that's not true, well then, so why did the Marine Corps carry ACOGs? It's a bomb-proof optic. It's reliable. It's dependable. I know you can see pictures of it. You see videos of it. You talk to Marines that were in Afghanistan and Iraq, and you'll note that the first thing that pops off their gun is their rear sight, and they're moving the ACOG all the way back so they can get that proper eye relief. They should have a front sight, and if they've done it right, they've marked where they took the rear sight off, so you still have you should still have a zero. Should. So I'm pretty sure they're carrying around their rear sight in their pocket or something. I would guess. I don't know. But back to it, they're actually using an optic to aim with and not an iron sight. And I see more and more where your iron sights, they're becoming a tertiary ideology, or an old school ideology, and I'm seeing more and more where people are forgetting how to use iron sights. That's why I have this. I have this. This is my retro upper that goes on my AR pistol and my short barrel rifle, and that's why I have this for my iron sights. Another thing too is not as heavy. But this is perfect also. This is a A2 front sight with an A2 rear. This is the M4 rear. It's a 630 rear sight. So there's more positives, but there's more positives in using an optic versus iron sights. One, your iron sights versus scope, or excuse me, scope versus iron sights. You can see better. Doesn't make you shoot better, but it means you can see better. You can identify things quicker. You don't have to come off like if you have glass. This is just all opinions, okay? Opinions are like underwear. Everybody got one. So if you want to chime in and talk about it, please do. You know, I'm all about that. But I think that for me, a optic of some type is better than iron sights. And I see where more and more, you know, it's easier to zero an optic. It's less of a training issue with optics, because you're taking the human factor out of it and putting the mechanical factor into it. You're getting more bang for the buck, literally, out of an optic, meaning you're getting more of a bang for the buck. Is that what I'm saying is down the end of the line, you're getting more of a hit ratio. So these scopes, these optics have proven themselves to be very durable, very capable, and withstand a huge beating. Depending, you know, like it's what your budget's got, right? I'll never, for example, this is like the Cadillac of Cadillacs for me. I'll never go to another scope, or a scope of this quality. I'll put it that way. There's one more scope, but that's for another video. Because this is not about scope, it's just about the variations between what I think is better. So depending on your magnification, like this is 2.5 to 10, which I would never go higher than 10 power on anything. The magnification on this is very good. You can, on the low setting of 2.5, you can still run like a red dot. So like if you go back and look at one of my other videos, if you'll close the cap and turn the illuminator on, it'll run just like a red dot. Keep both eyes open and move, it runs just like a red dot. If you need to see further out, then you just flip the cap off and look. If you need to dial the magnification up, you just move it up. It's that simple. Whereas with irons, you're not going to be able to do that. So your human eye is going to have some other type of magnification, which is I'm going to break out the monocular scope, or not scope, but monocular binos, you know, binoculars, or the monocular, whatever fixed magnification, or is adjustable. And yeah, so trying to make sense out of this is if you know, it's like pizza sauce or anything else. It's all opinions, whatever you like into something. I think that these type of sighting systems today, scopes and red dots with a 3 power, 4 power, or higher power magnification behind it, or a fixed 10 power scope, they're just as good, and they're just as good on the durable side of an iron sight, but they're more than an iron sight could ever be. And I see more and more where these are being phased out, where the iron sights are now a part of history. It's a part of the past. Case in point, you know, because we're stubborn people. pistols, iron sights. Okay, more and more you're starting to see people run some type of red dot on these guns. I think eventually what you're going to see is the sights completely gone off of guns and just a red dot on there. Some military units are starting to play around with these. Some police departments are starting to play around where they're still keeping their iron sights, because that gives them that blanket, that comforting effect, that comfort to having that. But they're running those red sights, and I think those red dots. And I think what's going to happen is, it's going to be where that red dot is going to take the place of iron sights on a handgun, just like red dots and other variable optics, etc. They are taking the place of an iron sight. My opinion, food for thought, but I think the iron sight is going away at the dodo. Just my opinion on that. So what's yours? Be back directly.